Hi everybody, this is Tenacious Earl. It's Friday, December 29th, 2017, and I'm going to play out Game 93 of the Phillies 2008 replay. As you can tell, I don't know if you can tell or not, my voice is a little on the off side. I'm coming down with some kind of a head cold, and it's kind of affecting my vocal cords at the moment, so apologies for the raspiness, but we'll give this game a go here. I want to get this done, get back on the road with this. So I did finish out the Slacker Tour tournament that I was talking about in the video from yesterday. I might take a mention of that at the end if we have time. If not, we'll probably just bag it and talk about it another time. But so the Cardinals lost the first two of this series. This is the rubber match. Braden Looper will be their pitcher today. Phillies won the second game of this series by a score of 10-5. That was J.A. Happ on the mound. He was the winner of that one. So the Cardinals are going to be looking to try and stave off a sweep in this. For the Phillies, they'll have the wily veteran lefty Jamie Moyer going. We'll see how that works out for them. It's a day game here at Citizens Bank Park. Getaway day for the Cardinals, and we'll see if the Phillies can complete the sweep. We'll be right back in a moment with the starting lineups and the play-by-play. Alrighty then, we are back, and we are almost ready to go here. I want to get up my chat window here so I can see what I see. I have 3 comments at the moment, and so I'm interested to see what they are about. Happy New Year to everybody. Looking forward to 2018. 2017's been pretty interesting, to say the least. Tribe fan, good morning. Mr. Moley, hello. He's in the snowy United Kingdom. Yeah, that's nice. Last 30 minutes of work. Okay. Well, let's see if I can get it in 30 minutes. Not sure if I can, but you never know. Let's see what the conditions are here. This is a July 10th, so as opposed to most of the country here in the United States, and it sounds like the UK as well. This is July 9th on a warm and sunny day in South Philly. And so let's see what the roll is. It's an 11-day game 11. That's going to be good conditions. So the ball should be flying out of CBP. See if the Phillies can give the home fans something to cheer here today. All right, so Adam Kennedy will be leading off for the St. Louis Cardinals against lefty Jamie Moyer. Then Ryan Ludwig in right. Then Albert Pujols at first base. Troy Gloss third. Rick Ankiel in center field. Yadier Molina catching. Chris Duncan in left. Braden Looper, the pitcher, will bat 8th. And rounding it out will be Brendan Ryan at short. Here we go, Game 3. Can the Cardinals salvage a game out of this series? Adam Kennedy to lead it off. And it's a 3-10 against the lefty. He's going to nub it right back to the mound, and Moyer throws to first for the out as Howard steps off the bag after tagging it. And here is Ryan Ludwig. And he will swing and miss as Moyer gets the better of him, and that's out number 2. And Pujols, don't have any stats in front of me right now, but that will be a semi-deep fly ball to center. Victorino slides underneath it, and that will be a 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Jamie Moyer. We will go to the bottom of the first with no score. Don't roll. What if you get rained out? Huh. All right, hold on. See, that's why we would have producers in the press box, so you wouldn't hear all of the sneezing and coughing and wheezing and. All right, so for the Phillies, their lineup for this final game of the series: Jimmy Rollins at short, Shane Victorino in center, Chase Utley second base, Ryan Howard at first, Pat the Bat Burrell in left, Jeff Jenkins in right, Pedro Feliz third base, Chris Coast catching, giving Ruiz the day off, and Jamie Moyer. The pitcher, Jimmy Rollins against Braden Looper, the righty, former Marlin. And there is a 4-8 against, he's batting from the left, and Rollins is going to scoot one into center field for a single right up the middle. So Looper -1 and Molina -4. So that's going to dissuade a lot of the running here, especially with no outs. It'll be Victorino. They will hold Rollins on. And ballpark home run shot on a 1-17. This one is a long drive. It's way back. And it's out of here. Shane Victorino tags it. And it's an early 2-0 lead for the Fightins. Takes Looper deep. And, wait a second. Wrong side of the card. Woo! Back it up. Back up the train. That's what happens when you got two guys off the same. You got two different handed guys. That was unfortunate. Well, we already got the roll for this. It was a ballpark single. Victorino hitting from the left is a 1-11, so it's still going to be a single, but it's only going to be a one-base advance. So never mind. A little premature there. They go to video review, and it wasn't a home run. Victorino took a very deliberate home run trot, and so didn't Rollins, and they only got to first and second respectively. So Chase Utley, let me see something. Yeah, the first one was off of the pitcher card. So Chase Utley, first and second, nobody out. Glad I backed it up there. So 6-11 against the lefty. That's also a ballpark single. This is going to be a 1-11 as well. But that's a 19. That'll be a line out to second base. Let me get my cheat sheet here. Seems like there's a rule that you would potentially have a double off at second base with that. That might only be on the, thinking that might only be on hit and run. So let's leave it at that. We'll leave well enough alone. Still first and second. Both guys get back. Hot shot, but right at Adam Kennedy. So with one out. Ryan Howard. Let me turn it over here. Sorry, I was looking at the comments real quick. And got sidetracked. So that's going to be a strikeout for Howard, as he is prone to do. So now it's going to leave it up to Pat Burrell with two outs, first and second. They're going to leave two runners stranded against a righty. 4-4 grounder to third. This is going to be Troy Gloss. He is a 3-E-8. 3 and a 5. That might be a single one. Let me take a look and see. Three and 5. They're not holding the runner on, at least at third, so that's going to be a G3. Now let's see on the 8 and a E8 and 8. I think that's going to be the out is made, and it is. So that will be a 5-3, and that will end the inning. So if Braden Looper was pitching from the left-hand side, things would be a little bit different. But nonetheless, still a promising start to a good day here. A couple of hits right off the bat off Looper, but they just can't cash in on that. And we'll go to the second with no score. So, Troy Gloss, switching back to the left side, 5-9 against a righty. That's a fly ball to right, and Jenkins, who's getting a day out there in right. Worth has been playing quite a bit lately. Rick Ankiel now, the lefty. So, lefty-lefty matchup. 4-7, that's going to be a fly ball to center, and that's going to be Victorino's ball. And he will call off everybody and take it. 2 outs. Yadi Molina. This guy could be dangerous against lefties. And against a right-hander, he's going to draw a 2-out walk. No desire to try and steal there. Chris Duncan with 2 outs. And against a lefty, a 4-11, that is, he's got normal power against lefties. And he is a lefty. This is a 1-17. This is a long drive way back, and it is out of here. 2-run home run. So with 2 outs, Moyer gives up a long ball, and it's going to be a 2-0 lead for the Cards. So the pitcher spot, and it'll be Braden Looper. Pitcher's hitting card number 4. That's a 5-6. He's batting from the right, and that is a single. So 3 straight runners reach, and Brendan Ryan with 2 outs. And there is a potential balk. Moyer does not have a balk rating, so 2 outs. 1-11, that's going to be a hit by pitch. So Moyer struggling the second inning, and Adam Kennedy. See if Moyer can escape. And a 3-6, that'll be a fly ball to left, and that'll be caught by Burrell. And 2 runs on 2 hits, a home run and a walk and a home run. The single is stranded along with the hit by pitch, but Moyer doesn't have a very good second inning there at all. So the Phillies have to fight back here. So against Looper, it's Jeff Jenkins. And that's going to be a single to lead off. Third hit for the Phils. They seem to only be able to get singles at this point. Pedro Feliz. Trusty third baseman. A little weak on the hitting side. That's going to be a grounder to short. Ryan will toss to Kennedy over to Pujols, and that will be the 6-4-3 double play for a quick 2 outs, and Chris Coast. And he's going to hit it on the ground to Ryan as well, and that's going to be 3 up and 3 down. Well, not exactly 3 down, but through 2, it's 2-0 on the Cardinals. Ryan Ludwig struck out in the first inning, and that's going to be a 1-5. Probably not going to be a home run. That will be a double. So Moyer continues to scuffle along here. Albert Pujols against a righty 5-9. That's a fly ball to right. Ludwig a 13. Jenkins with a -1, that makes it a 12. 1-12, he's going to try to take third. 1-12, he gets there. 13-19, he holds at second. And he's going to get there on the fly ball B. Right? You know what, I think, let me look at the rules. I think fly ball B, I might not be able to do that with him. Might have to be B question mark. And I seem to have stuffed my trusty rule book somewhere. Ah, there you are. I feel like I might have to take that away. I was thinking that you could do that with the fly ball B, but now that I'm rethinking it, I think it has to be a B question mark. No, on a fly ball right field, B to right field only. A runner at second may advance with this calculation. Yep, I was right. All right. So Ludwig at third with 1 out, and it'll be Troy Gloss. And that's going to be a grounder to short. The infield was playing back here, so let's see. Runner at third, ground ball A5. The batter is going to be out, but the runner will advance. So they get their third run. RBI for Gloss, and that'll be 2 outs, nobody on. So Rick and Keel. And he's going to hit it on the ground to Utley, and Utley will make the play. So another run for the Cardinals. Manufacture one. So bottom of the third, 3-0 to the Redbirds. Hey, baseball demos. Moyer is getting rocked a bit there, Tribe fan. Maybe his age is starting to catch up with him here. So bottom of the third, and it will be a 2-8 for Jamie Moyer. He's going to strike out on pitcher's hitting card number 1. The J to the roll. I think he's probably... Well, there is a ballpark single chance for him. This would be his second hit of the game. Batting from the left side, 1-11, and it's going to be a liner to short for out, or no, liner to Kennedy at second for out number 2, and Shane Victorino. Batting from the left, that's going to be a fly ball to right. Tough play for Ludwig. Good range, 2, and an E4 should be able to make this the third out. Let me double check. I think that's fine. Yep, that's an F2. And, yeah, that's going to be the third out. So, 1-2-3 for Looper. .416 ERA versus Moyer's 3.71, but currently Looper is the one on top here at Citizens Bank Park. We're going to go to the top of the fourth. 6, 7, 8 hitters, Yadi Molina. That's going to be a single. He's reached twice. Chris Duncan popped a home run last time. Batting from the left, this is another potential long home run. 1-17, it's gone. Oh my word, what a good day for Chris Duncan. A couple of really fortunate rolls for him, and it is now 5-0 Cardinals. So, Jamie Moyer, the Phillies are going to have to start thinking about maybe rustling around the bullpen here. Looks like the day game isn't sitting with him very well. You're going to RJ Swindle warming up. Just called up a couple games ago from Scranton Wilkes-Barre. That's a 5-8, and against the righty, that is going to be probably a single, unless it's a 1 or a 2. That's a 5, so a single. And, well, Phillies manager is, well, that's a potential wild pitch, 1-2. You need no wild pitch. Brendan Ryan, that's a 1-10. Well, he's going to beat out the relay, but that'll be a 1-6 put out. Fielder's choice. Brendan Ryan, he'll try to take a lead here against Moyer and Coast. A 6 means he does 18, and then 0 and plus 2, so that makes it 20. Then you subtract 2. 1 to 18, and it's a 17. He does make it there. So Adam Kennedy, with a runner in scoring position, could make it 6-9 against the lefty. That's a fly ball to left field shallow. That will be caught by Burrell. Burrell had to come in hard after that, but does end up making the play. And so Ryan Ludwig, with Ryan still at second and 2 outs. Potential passed ball off coast. He's a 0 rating on the passed ball, though, so we don't have to worry about that. Ludwig, 2-3. Ballpark single, 1 to 8 for a righty. And it's a 20, so that will be a liner to short to end the inning. But 2 more runs. Chris Duncan with 4 runs batted in this game, having a field day here with Jamie Moyer. Usually lefties aren't so strong, but against Mr. Jamie Moyer, he is taking them deep. Yep, I was double checking. I thought I saw a normal there against left-handed pitching, and he sure was. I guess partly hoping that maybe I misread it. Well, the Phils are going to try to keep Moyer in there as long as they can, at least through the 5th. Chase Utley, 2-9. That's going to be a fly ball to Ludwig, and he'll make the play, 1 out. Ryan Howard, and against the lefty, 4-9, 1-2 double. It's an 18, so it'll be a single for Howard. It's all they've managed here off of Looper is singles. 4 singles and nothing else. So pat the bat. And you get a fat one here and maybe bring him a little closer. 6-7 against a righty. Grounder to second base. 3E16 for Kennedy. And that's going to be a double play ball. Taylor made. Can he convert? He does. 4-6-3. And no runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. So going to the 5th inning. Phillies just can't seem to string more than a couple wins in a row. Although they did have a pretty good streak here recently. I should be quiet about that. Albert Pujols against Moyer. Against a righty, 5-3. Grounder back to Moyer, 3E15. 3 and a 3. That might actually be a single. And it is. Single and a 7 on the E15. Well, he's able to hold it to a single, but yeah, the Phillies, I think they're going to let's see, who is next? Gloss. Well, the only guy they bring in is a lefty, so they're going to stick with Moyer at least for now. And a 1-8 strikes him out. That's 1 out. Pujols isn't going anywhere. Rick Ankiel. Against the lefty, 6-6. He's going to draw a walk, and I think this is all that they're going to... Yeah, this is it for Moyer. All right, tried to let him go as long as he could. They're going to... The Phillies are going to double switch with R.J. Swindle, so I'm going to put Swindle right in there for Burrell. Wait, what am I doing? I don't need to write down Burrell's name. And it's going to be Worth going into the pitcher spot. All right, so not too thrilled with Burrell's day. They're going to shoot him out of there. And there we go. Yeah, I hate when that happens. So he's going to be a 2 minus 2. Yeah. E3, and he's what? Yeah. Okay, so RJ Swindle going up against Yadi Molina. 2 on, 1 out. 3-7, that's a single. That's going to be a run scored. Chris Duncan now. 2-4 strikes out. That's all they need to get Moyer out of there, and Duncan becomes human again. So first and third, 2 away, and it's going to be the pitcher spot. Potential wild pitch off Swindle. He's got a 0 rating for it. So 3-5 against a lefty. That's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. So only 1 run, 1 run seeded. I almost said succeeded, but that's not the right word. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th. 6-0. Cardinals are cruising at the moment. It's going to be Jeff Jenkins. Let's see. Look at the comments here real quick. So Tribe fans, Mr. Moley's taken off. Baseball Demo says the son of pitching coach Dave Duncan. Well, Chris Duncan. Yeah, let's go Phillies. Exactly, Beatles, but they're not working out so well here today. Lobster Johnson. Is this I think this is a gel pen, isn't it? I mean, it's what I use, but all right. So bottom of the 5th. Took a little break here. 1-8. That's going to be another single for Jenkins. He's having no problems here against Looper, but so Pedro Feliz. Phillies could use a rally here. But a 2-4, it's going to mean that Jenkins will get to second on that, but that'll be 1 out. Chris Coast, who's a bit more of a hitter than his counterpart Ruiz, or his battery twin. Let's see if he can do something here. Nope, that's a 2-5. That's going to be a grounder to second. That will move the runner up. So another grounder to second. Kennedy makes the play, and it's going to be Jason Worth now in the game. See if he can pop one here, or at least drive a run home and get them on the board. 3-9, he's going to strike out, and the Phillies just can't seem to get their motor running so much here today. No runs on a hit. We're going to go to the 6th. Swindle will stay in the game. Phillies will get see who pitched last game. CNS, Durbin, and Romero. They're going to get Clay Condrey warming up in case Swindle runs into any problems here. So Brendan Ryan, 3-4 against a lefty. It's potential single, ballpark single, 1-8, and it's a 6. There you go. They've got a lot of those rolls today. Adam Kennedy. Let's see. Swindle a -1. Ryan will still try to get a lead here. He needs a 5 or a 6, and he gets a 4, so no, he can't go. Adam Kennedy, 4-5, or he could go, but he'd be at a disadvantage. 4-5 against a lefty. So yeah, that's 4-5 against a lefty is a strikeout. So now 1 out. Let's do a calculation here. So you subtract 4 off of Ryan. Second number, that's an 8. 7, 8, 9. So it's a 1-9. So it's probably not wise for him to go unless maybe there's 2 outs. So Ludwig, another 4-5. This time against a righty. That will be a walk. So runner in scoring position. Didn't need to. And it's going to be Pujols. And the Phillies they're going to make the change here. I'm going to try Swindle for a little longer, but okay, so Pujols against Condrey. Trying to match up against the righty. And against a righty, a 6-8. That's a bad roll right there. 1-3 triple. That'll be a single, 2 starts. Can score another run. And the Cardinals can do no wrong today. Where's Bob Borowick when this would be the type of game he'd want to see, probably. First and third, 1 out. Troy Gloss. Another 6-8. This time a different spelling of 6-8, but they still get the roll. And another 5, but that's another run scored. And they're in this little cycle of the first to thirds. 2 runs in, 8-0. They've scored runs in each of the last 5 innings. Rick Ankiel now. Just curious to see. Well, for Swindle, the 6-8 would have been home runs, so. Against the lefty, 4-7, another single. Again, first to third, and things just keep getting worse for the Fightins. They're kind of withering this day. Yadi Molina, going to trying to get this finished out here as quickly as we can. 5-5 against the righty. That'll be a fly ball to left B. Sack fly. Worth makes the catch, but in comes Gloss, so that's going to be their 10th run, if I'm not mistaken. That's out number 2. And that brings up Chris Duncan, who has been crushing it here today. Against a lefty, 4-4, grounded to short. That'll be Rollins, short X. That's good. Does he miss it? That's a 15. That's an E8. I think it's 16, 17, 18. And it is. So he makes it on the 15. 6-3. And that is that. But they get 4 runs. And it's currently looking bad for the Phillies. Cardinals just about hit around in that inning. Lobster jump. Playing tennis of all sports. Sunburn my arm. Oh, out of here. Mr. Moley, out of here isn't home run. Yeah. It's been a rough game here for Philadelphia. It looks like they were one game ready to... Looks like they were looking forward to their next series. So, J-Roll, they're going to need 10 runs if they're going to start anything, and he is going to potentially pop a home run here. 1-4, that'll be a double, so that's a start. Boy, it's been a long time. Seems like it's been a day since we had that missed call that I had against Victorino, the ballpark home run chance. So Victorino against Looper here. And a 2-10, that's going to be a single, and that will score the run. It's not a clutch situation because there's no outs. But the Phillies will get their first run as Victorino drives in Rollins. That's a 10-1. Cuts the margin to 9. Here's Chase Utley. And a potential passed ball. Molina 1-2. No passed ball there on a 13. So Utley, and against a lefty, 4-5. That's a ground ball to second. That's going to be 4-6-3. Oh, that's only the second out, though. So that's a nifty way to wipe out some runners. That's going to bring up Ryan Howard. I think I'm going to stand up here for a while. I've been sitting here quite a long time. Against a lefty, 5-11. That has a chance. Long drive. Watch this baby out of here. That's a 2. So that's too bad that couldn't have happened with runners on base, but that brings it to 10-2. Little by little, it's going to bring up Condry's spot. Phillies are going to get, we'll have Ryan Madsen warming up. And they will bring in Greg Dobbs to pinch hit for, Condry. So Dobbs, with nobody on and 2 outs, facing Looper. Against a lefty, 5-8, and that's going to be, it's the 6th inning, 1-2-3. That's going to be a hit, right? 5-8. Strikeout, except there's a dot, so that's going to be a hit for Dobbs. They're trying to give Looper a chance to get through the 6th here. Jeff Jenkins now, runner at first. And a 3-8 against a righty, that'll be a strikeout to end the inning. So 2 runs. Not out of life yet, but all right, so it'll be Ryan Madsen coming in. In the 7th here, and presumably he would pitch a couple innings. All right, so the pitcher spot up, and the Cardinals, they are going to get they're going to get Chris Perez warming up. And against the righty Madsen, they'll pinch hit with Skip Shoemaker. Oops, I messed that up. Need to not confuse myself here with the wrong marks. There we go. Okay. So it'll be Skip Shoemaker against Ryan Madsen. And he's going to hit a grounder to Ryan Howard. He'll make the play. And Brendan Ryan now. Against a righty, that's a strikeout. With 2 outs, Adam Kennedy. And that's going to be a grounder to short, which will end the inning. So 1-2-3 inning for Madsen. And we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time, and it's going to be Chris Perez coming in. Pitch a couple innings here. Pedro Feliz. And against the righty, that'll be a fly ball to center, which Ankiel flags down. Chris Coast, that's going to be a strikeout. Out number 2, brings up Jason Worth. Struck out in his first at bat. Came in the double switch, and he's going to draw a walk. They're not going to hold him on, so he automatically gets a jump. 1-19, he makes it. So J-roll, potential balk. Perez doesn't have a balk rating, so Rollins now with 2 outs, 3-5. That's going to be a grounder to first. And that will end the inning, as that's no problem for Pujols. Go to the top of the 8th. It'll be Ludwig, Pujols, and Gloss. Facing Madsen against a righty, 5-7. Grounder to Utley, 2-E14. And a 2 and a 2, that's going to be a single. I'll tell you what, the rolls have kind of bitten the Phillies here today. Those rolls. That's going to be just a base hit, but still. That is a single off the X chart. So Pujols. 5-7 again against a righty. Can Utley get a better roll this time, get a double play out of it? 17, that will be a double play as long as he can convert, and he does. So 2 outs. Brings up Gloss. Well, nobody's on base, so we don't have to worry about rolling that. 4-7 against a righty. That's a strikeout. So, all right, bottom of the 8th. Time running out for the Phillies. They got 6 outs to try and muster something here. Cardinals will stick with Perez. Going to face 2, 3, 4 hitters, and it'll be Victorino starting it here. Against a lefty, 6/8's a strikeout. Switch hitter, lefty, because he's going up against a righty. Here is Utley. And that's going to be a grounder to second. Kennedy throws to first in time. 2 outs. Ryan Howard does have a home run. And that's going to be a 1-3 double. Otherwise, it's going to be flagged down. Can it get by the glove of Duncan? No, it does not. That'll be caught out there in left. Going to the 9th. 10-8, or 10-2 rather. It's an 8-run deficit, and that's what I was thinking. And he hasn't pitched for a couple games. They're going to, or wait, no, they did bring in Isringhausen in the previous game. So, let's see. They're going to have Kyle McClellan get warming up for the Cards. Let's see. Madsen spot. I should have been warming somebody up for the Phillies, too. Well, top of the 9th, they'll give... Let's see. Did Lidge pitch yet? No, he didn't. They're going to let Lidge pitch this. Give him a little work. Pitcher spot coming up in the 9th. So here is Ankiel against Lidge. That is a 3-10. Grounder to the pitcher. Lidge throws to first, out number 1. Yadi Molina. That's going to be a grounder to third. Felice with the simple grounder. And now Chris Duncan, could he pop one more here? That would be something else. That's going to be 2-4. He's going to draw a walk. He's had a nice day. Pitcher spot. It's going to be... We'll have Aaron Miles take a shot at it here. Runner at first, 2 away. 3-4, grounder back to the pitcher, and Lidge takes care of that. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 9th. The Phillies are kind of sleepwalking here. Down 10-2. It's going to be Kyle McClellan. So, and he's going to face the pitcher spot, and then Jenkins, and then Felice. So, nah, we're not going to go with Eric Bruntlett. Yeah. Okay. So Eric Bruntlett will pinch hit. And he's going to hit a fly ball to center for out number 1. Let me see what anybody else have. So Taguchi would have given us a 1-5 chance, I guess. But at a double. And Dobbs isn't in the game. Forgot to take him off the deck. Jeff Jenkins. Against a lefty, 5-7 grounder to Kennedy, 3E16. He'll get to it. He'll make the play. That'll be out number 2. And Pedro Felice, last chance. And it's a 5-5 against a righty. Grounder to Brendan Ryan, a 3E7. 3 and a 2. That'll be a single. So, not completely dead yet. Chris Coast now at the plate. Against a righty, 5-5, another grounder to short. Can he get a higher number this time? It's a 10. That's going to do it unless, yeah, that's it. That'll be the game. Grounder to Ryan, throws to first. In time, the Cardinals do get the final game of this series. It's by a score of 10-2. The victor is Braden Looper. The loss goes to Jamie Moyer. Had a rough day. Just couldn't get out. Chris Duncan was the main thing. Gave up 2 home runs in Duncan's first 2 at-bats. And that was pretty much enough for the Cardinals, who will take off from here. And let's see, who do they face next? Whoops. The Cardinals, they move across the state of Pennsylvania to Pittsburgh to face division rival Pirates. The Phillies, they will... just a second as I... So they will... They're going to host the Arizona Diamondbacks for a series. So that's that. I'll be right back as I just switch it around here. I'll close things out. So you win some, you lose some. 2 out of 3 is pretty good. If the Phillies keep doing that the rest of the season, I think they'll definitely overcome the other teams in their division. I know the bit rate right now looks a little slow, but so I might be a little fuzzy right now. But in any event, Chris Duncan, 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in. He's your star of the game here. Ryan Howard picks up a homer, but that's just about it. Moyer only went 4 and 1/3 innings, gave up 6 earned runs in the process. Braden Looper goes 6. 2 earned runs allowed. RBIs for the Phillies for Shane Victorino with his RBI single in the 6th, and Ryan Howard with his home run, which is somewhere around 30, I think, for him at this point in the season. So we're a little past the halfway mark at game 93. So Phillies record now 48-45, which is I think 2 games behind their pace in real life. Cardinals get to 44-49. I think they are significantly down. They were 51-42 at this point in real life. So the simulation on Strat PC hasn't been terribly kind to them so far. What it could mean is that in real life they struggled down the stretch and had a good start, and sort of the numbers cut. They came back to them in real life, and in this simulation, it just kind of like goes throughout the whole season. And I mean, I guess that could be somewhat what happens to the Phillies, but I don't know. Sometimes when you try to recreate stats, it's tough to recreate wins and losses too. So, I mean, we've kind of gone through this with some of my posts. I've gotten a lot of comments on those, and I think there's validity in kind of all of that thought. But I think what it comes right down to is when you're trying to replicate stats as best you can, it's really tough to sort of massage them using things like the error rating, the range ratings and stuff like that, which I think might explain some of the reasons why some teams seem to have a lot of good defensive rated players when maybe it doesn't necessarily always pass the eye test, but what it comes down to is trying to match playability, getting wins and losses off of players using their statistics and trying to recreate their season performances on an individual level. It can be kind of tough to stack those up. It can be frustrating at times if you're playing a series not a series, but a season, and it's not reproducing, which is something that we went through here and may go through again. I'm hoping that I can accept the way things go. What I need to do is maybe I need to watch that little speech I just gave every time I go to do a video, so that way I can sort of prepare myself. But so we're not at an hour yet. I'll just mention the Slacker Tour for History Maker Golf. It's kind of like the web.com tour. I almost said web.tom tour. What's the .tom? I don't know. Tom probably wants that to be .tom. He might make a lot of money. Maybe he should register that little suffix or whatever you call that. But Luciano Ware was the guy who won. He was a user-created card, which a lot of them are. As I said in the video yesterday, I had used some of the Tenacious Tour players that did not qualify for the Masterful. Interestingly, none of them ended up finishing in the top 10. Now, some of them did finish in the top 25, which the top 25 qualifies for the next tournament. But because they are members of the Tenacious Tour, they're not going to play in the web.com or the Slacker Tour, just because it just doesn't make much sense to me that they would do that unless there's a week off. But they're not card holders of that tour necessarily. There's some, if you read about the web.com tour, there is some flexibility there as far as players that have lost their PGA Tour card can play if it's within a year of them losing it. They would get automatic qualification for tournaments at the web.com. Since this is the first season of both of these, it's really tough for me to make heads or tails of how to do that best. So what it comes down to is I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants with this. I'm just trying to make it work as best I can. I mean, my theory is that I've made a bunch of random cards in a way, and what it would be great is to see the best cards come out of that and move up and try to challenge some of the other ones. And I do intend to do some tournament rating adjustments. I just have to figure out how best to do that, given the fact that the Pro National Tour cards I bought those, and I really hate to mark them up or do something. So I've had some ideas be given to me. I just have to figure out how best to do it. I might just use an Excel sheet that I print out and just look at it and do things that way. I mean, that might be the most, the least destructive. Might also be, but it might be a little bit more of a pain as far as having to cross-reference that during the cut stuff. So I got second season as well. I did play a half of a game. Still getting the hang of it. It's a really fun game. It reminds me somewhat of I had a card game back when I was a kid. I think it was made by Warren Paper Products that so it gave you the card deck and you had to choose I'm trying to remember. I forget if it was the type of play or what it was, but you chose something. I think it was maybe the type of play. You had a certain amount of plays, and then you picked up a card. It was kind of like what the fast action cards are in second season, but in second season they only have two selections: run or pass. In the fast action kind of cards or whatever they call those. But then you have all the you have player ratings, and there's some aspects that are similar to the History Maker series, and there's some that aren't. So second season you don't have all of the pregame rolls. You don't have the mood stuff really. You don't have anything about experience. You don't have anything about right now. It's just players have ratings, but the stuff that's sort of like History Maker is you would do a roll, and if the player is, it's usually either a good or a bad check against a player. Some are just straight, you check the player's rating and then you get results from that. Some of the other ones are, you would check a player on your team, for instance, the right tackle, and if he's good at a pass play, then it would give you a result, and if he isn't, then it would give you a different one that would be not so good, and then, a lot of times they check to see if that player is really bad. So you basically have three designations for a player. You have 2, 1, and 0. So if a player is a 0 rated at running or passing, whatever the play is that you call, then if it's yes, then it's a bad result, kind of, 3-yard loss or sack or who knows what, maybe interception. But if he's not that, then you get a good result. So that's where it's kind of like History Maker, where if you see some of these, like in the History Maker golf, it's like, is he a duffer? Now in this Slacker, just a real quick aside, in this Slacker tour, I got another roll where it was windy conditions, so everybody was duffer and utility, which greatly increased the scores. The winning score, the target score was 270, and the actual winning score was 272, which could also be because the cards themselves aren't really tailored to be great. They're tailored to be, they're random. They're not tailored at all. So, but in any event, back to the second season. So it's just, there's a lot of depth to it. I'm still getting used to the strategy elements. I'd say I'm still getting used to the strategy elements of History Maker Golf. I see some guys posting on the Play forum that are like 62, 59 scores. I'm like, where are you getting these? Because I don't really see it. Maybe I'm just not getting the strategy right. But maybe you're offering a bunch of blue chips when you're not supposed to. I don't know. Like, if you play a chip, you're not supposed to get a chip. And I just don't see how you get 59s when you're doing it by the rules. But I don't know. Maybe, you know, I mean, these games are meant to be somewhat homebrewed. So I think I've had a 64. So that's pretty good. But again, I haven't played a lot of games. But it's just a little... Now, maybe there are some conditions, some weather conditions that really help the tournaments. So we did have a tournament where that happened. I think they were exemplary, and everything got, like, all of the putts got improved. All the second putts got improved, so you could go for everything. So maybe that's where it's coming in. I don't know, but all right, I'm over the hour mark now. I'm going to shut her down. But disappointing result here for the Phillies. 10-2, they go down, but they're still within sniffing distance of their actual record in real life at this point. So that makes me feel a bit better. We're going to keep playing along here. They got the Diamondbacks next. Like or subscribe, or both, would be great. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Again, our Facebook page, we post stuff on there occasionally. Check out all of the great guys out there that are producing videos. Whether it's Stratomatic, whether it's Payoff Pitch, Status Pro, History Maker, yada yada yada. I mean, there's a lot of different games that are out there, and I think each of us have our likes and dislikes as far as games go. But you know, if you're looking to watch how people play and how to play games and how to learn them, go watch them and comment and interact. And I mean, that's what we're hoping to do here, is to bring people to these games. A lot of the people who watch live a lot of you guys are return customers, and we love you too. But I still really would like to see our community grow. So, I mean, we just have to figure out how best to do that, while not like burning ourselves out and turning ourselves into messes. But it's all good. So anyway, thanks for supporting us here. Well, it's already like, what, 4 days past Christmas. So Happy New Year coming up. Might play another game before then. I'm going to be off the next couple days, which makes it nice. But I also want to learn second season, so we'll see how I'll have to juggle that all. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day, and see you soon. God bless.